Would you like to get out of the rat race? Hey, Cece Chaney here. Happy New Year to you. Yes, I've got my New Year's little hat on. It's 2020, a new year, a new decade, and another opportunity for you to change the trajectory of your life. A lot can happen. A lot can happen in a year or in 10 years. And if you are somebody who wants to get out of the rat race, stay tuned to this video because today I'm sharing 4 tips to help you get out of the rat race. So Jason and I gave ourselves a little bit of a gift for Christmas called the Cash Flow Game by none other than Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, right? The rich dad, poor dad guy. And this game is designed to help you get out of the rat race, which I think is so freaking cool. Now, Jason and I have played every single day, some days more than one time, and we have started to understand the financial game a lot differently, right? And so I thought this would be an opportune time to share some tips that we've gathered from playing the cash flow game. Now, the first tip, if you're someone who wants to escape the rat race, is you've got to get your residual income over your total expenses. In fact, this is the entire point of the first half of the game, right? So a lot of people think about their income and they think about the money that they're making. That's not what I'm talking about residual income. So maybe this is something from investments. Maybe you're getting some dividends or some returns there. Maybe you have a business that's creating some additional cash flow. But we're talking about passive income that's not dependent on a job that can close, right? So the first step is to figure out, or the first tip is to start creating cash flow, right? So maybe you start a business. Maybe you invest in stocks or bonds or mutual funds, right? But start creating some cash flow. The second thing is you've got to know your numbers, right? And you have to be crystal clear on where you're at. If you took a second right now, could you, without a shadow of a doubt, know exactly what's coming in and what's leaving, right, in your household? Do you know all of your expenses? Do you know all of your income? I want to highly recommend that you have a firm understanding of your financial situation. So this is from the game itself. This game is so sexy because it is about money, and it is the only game that I know of that teaches you accounting, right, and practical accounting, right? So this is a financial statement. It's got income, it's got expenses, it's got assets, it's got liabilities. And if you are somebody who wants to get out of the rat race, you need to know your numbers. You need to have all of that. You need a snapshot of that written down in some form or fashion so that you can have that clear picture so you know where you're going. The third tip, have a long-term vision, right? That's something that you can hold on to. And this is actually instructions from the game, which I think is really powerful. Before the game gets started, as you're filling out your financial statement, there's a section that says dream, right? And so in the instructions for the game, it says, your dream is your reason for escaping the rat race. There has to be a strong motivation other than money, something that inspires you to keep reaching your goal. Why? Because in real life, you will face obstacles and setbacks. It's all part of the learning process. If you don't have a dream, a heartfelt reason why, it will be easy to quit. We don't want you to quit the game of cash flow, and we don't want you to quit on yourself in life. As you go towards any big goal in your life, be crystal clear on your dream. Think about what you really want out of life and make your dream unique, personal, and inspirational. So every time we play this game, there's some space on the back of this form that for us to place our dream. And I'm going to tell you, I had one card, right? These are the characters you play in this game essentially. And it took me literally 4 hours to get out of the rat race. And there was a point in time and I was like, look, my income's pretty decent. I'm doing okay. Why do I need to keep going? right? And that's going to happen to you in life. Things are going to come up. There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be issues that slow you down, that get in the way, but you don't want them to stop you. And that long-term vision, that commitment strategy that you have is what's going to help fuel you through this game of life. Because here's the reality. I might be playing a board game, but you're playing the real game in your life. So you need to know that in order to get out of the rat race, you've got to have some residual income coming in, right? And that residual income over time needs to be more than your expenses. You have to know your numbers, and you need to have a vision to pull you, okay? So that's a really important part of that. Now, the fourth thing that is so powerful is debt, right? And so I have listened to Robert Kiyosaki talk about this idea of using debt to further you in life. And I'm going to tell you, if you've ever read the comments section of a YouTube video from Robert Kiyosaki, you will see all of the poverty mindset people going, you are crazy, dude. But this game has allowed me, this cash flow game has allowed me to understand this in a whole new way, right? So the lesson here is that debt is a tool when it's used appropriately, when it's used wisely. I'm going to tell you this. I bankrupted one of my people because I overextended my debt, right? This was in the game. But how many people are overextended with their debts now? Right? So debt can be a tool when it's used wisely, but when it's used improperly, it can dig you into a much deeper hole. It can lead to bankruptcy. It can bankrupt you, right? So you want to make sure that if you start doing these sorts of strategies that you're learning from your mentors, that you know what it is that you're getting into, that you have a solid plan, that you know when to back out of a plan. There was one point when we were playing and I realized I started to overextend myself. And if I didn't get out of it soon, I would be in big trouble. And so I had to change my strategy sort of midway through the game. And that made a huge difference for me. Right? So these are 4 tips that I think can really help you if you're someone who's serious about escaping the rat race, right? Get your residual cash flow over your total expenses so you do not depend on a job, right? Know your numbers. What's my income? What's my expenses? What are my assets? What are my liabilities, right? If some of these words don't make sense to you yet, that's okay. You know where you need to start building some knowledge, right? 3, make sure you've got that long-term vision that you can hold on to when things start to get tough. You've got to have that. It's built into this game. It's how powerful it is. It's the very first page of the instructions. That's how important this part is. So whatever goal you have in your life, right, whatever that thing is that you're trying to achieve, you need to have that long-term vision so that you can stick to it. And number 4, use debt wisely, okay? Now, if you are someone who is serious about getting out of the rat race, and you know that it's going to take some long-term vision, and you know that you've got to figure out a way to create some residual income, let's chat. I have a very special invitation for you. I only have a few limited spots for this, but I would love to share with you some information about what it is that I'm doing to create some cash flow in my life. And if that's something that you're serious about and you want to know more about, shoot me a message. Just say rat race in there, and then I will send you some info so that you can get yourself out of the rat race too. So that's what I have for you today. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Happy New Year. Ciao.